And here we go. Ohana the map. And spawning the top left-hand corner of that map, the reigning champion from Mexico. It's going to come up. There it is. It's Major. He is number 1.
Oh, funny. No fun intended. No pun intended.
None whatsoever.
Of course, in the right bottom side of Ohana, we have Hwangsin. Both these guys have played in the Gauntlet before. Major is right now with 2 wins, also qualified for the fan voting later on. You guys can just keep a close eye on www.nasl.tv or twitter.com/NASL, where we... Ben, stop distracting me. Where we will announce the players that are qualified for our league later on tonight, and you guys can vote for your favorite player. We are going to see them in King of the Hill Showmatch series, and of course with a lot more money than they have already won.
That's exactly right. This DVP on Ohana is starting to unfold. We can see Hwangsin still gasless. Everybody, listen, Hwangsin's reputation is no secret. He's known as a guy that likes to get aggressive, usually off of 2 bases, but he has shown a real ability to mix it up, especially recently. And I don't know what to expect out of him here on Ohana. Kev, what do you think he's going to do against Major, the best player in Mexico?
I actually think it depends a lot on what he scouts. He wants to make sure he's not getting proxied early on. Hwangsin, as you said, sort of has an unordinary style. He likes to mix it up a lot. He used to all-in a lot, but I really feel those days of Hwangsin being all-in are a little bit over. Yes, he still has a couple of very aggressive strategies, but he also displays us so many times already that he's capable of playing excellent macro games against pretty much the best in the business. So I find it very hard to predict him right now. I think the moment he scouts this, he's going to go for the 1 gate fast expand. He's not going to get the second gas, which is of course not a very ballsy decision, as that's sort of standard. But that might be tricky, because that's obviously what Major wants him to do. But Major actually opens up with a refinery.
That is exactly right. Gas opening coming from the Mexican Terran. And what could that mean, Kev? Maybe some 1-base play, trying to give Hwangsin a taste of his own medicine?
Might be the Hellion play. Actually, I've seen Major play against Hawk on this map, where he did go for a Hellion elevator play, I believe. I'm not sure what it was, because I actually was not casting those games. I've seen half of it. I just caught a last glimpse, and that included Hellions in the main base of Hwangsin, while Hawk actually tried to forget him, but Major did have a bunker up in time. So that did not go very well for Hawk, and Major was able to win the game. Now we do see the Nexus going up, so Hwangsin is indeed going for the 1 gate fast expand. And I think it's going to be a little bit tricky, because this is exactly what Major wants him to do. And you know, Ben, I find those Hellion builds very strong and also very hard to deal with. So we'll see.
Yes, sir. Hellions are so good for a number of reasons, Kev. They're fast, they're mobile, but mostly they're hard to kill, especially when you open up with greedy expansions. It takes a long time for Stalkers to kill a Hellion, in spite of the fact that they don't have a lot of health. They're just fast, and Stalkers don't have the highest damage output.
Nope, it's going to be hard. You get a 1 shot up, then Hellion drives away, you get another one up, another one up. It just doesn't go all that quick. We have two Marines on the top of this ramp. There's no bunker yet for Major. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I find that actually kind of risky, because he has no idea. Well, I mean, he saw the Nexus going up, but still, this is tricky, because 9 out of 10 times when you're going to try to do something with Hellions, Protoss will just try to counterattack all in. And if they keep 5-6 Stalkers on the map and then bust your base, you're still going to lose the game, no matter how many pros you kill.
Yep, first SCV gets picked off out there in the middle of the map. Major knows, of course, that Stalker is out there. He's going to wait for a medevac, I think.
Yeah, he's going to drop Hellions in the main base. And actually, since he's not producing anything, he's just going to rally, I guess, Hellions in the natural and drop a few in the main as well. So it's going to be double Hellion aggression. And as silly as it sounds, it's a very good build, because Protoss often just has so few units in this phase of the game. Hwangsin gets a crucial scout off here, and he will see there is no command center. So Hwangsin, are you going to be more careful right now?
He immediately backs up his ramp.
Yep. The best thing that Hwangsin can do, in my opinion, is get 2 more gates, completely ignore this natural for a little while. Okay, he's going to go 1 gate robo. Oh, he already has 2 more gates going on.
Oh, wow. Hwangsin's playing some great StarCraft right now, Kev.
Yeah, but he still needs... if he transfers a lot of probes to his natural, he's going to be in big trouble. He has to sort of not worry about this and only worry about the Hellions that are going to get dropped in his main. That's the only way he's going to be able to deal with this.
Yes, sir. Medevac is en route.
Oh, actually, we see Major switching it up again. So all that Major is going to do right now is just drop 4 Hellions. It's Hellions into Cloak Banshee. You know whose build this is? Illusion's build.
Illusion?
Yes. Good old Chris Lee from Quantic Gaming. At least he claims it's his build. I'm just saying what he told me, guys.
Hellions are going to go ahead and unload in the main. Major's in position. I'm sorry, Hwangsin's in position. And one Hellion's going to die.
Force fields.
Oh, beautiful force fields, in fact. And this has been shut down pretty hard. 2 Hellions could possibly get 1 or 2 probe kills, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. I think maybe 1 probe was killed.
Yeah. Literally 1 probe for 4 Hellions. So superb defense so far by Hwangsin. It's really not going to get much better than that. He had the units in the right position. I was a little bit surprised that Major did not at least make 2 more additional Hellions and rally those into the natural, because that would have already been so much harder. It's always harder to defend on 2 places than it is on 1. But he's going to follow it up with his Cloak Banshee in time. And then eventually he's going to follow it up with a sort of pseudo 1-on-1, but then with 2 bases.
Yeah, with just a little bit more economy. So for the time being, he's done such minimal amounts of damage. Hwangsin's already getting an immortal out. Robotics Bay is going to go down. If some sort of aggression comes fairly early on in the game, there's going to be a Colossus in play, Kev. I don't think anything like that would work for Major.
It's going to be very hard. I mean, he really needed to deal more damage, but this is going to work out very well. There's not a single observer on the map, so these Cloak Banshees are going to be able to deal a lot of damage. They're having a field day, so what the Hellions were not able to do, this Cloak Banshee will be able to do.
Yes, sir. Already has a couple of kills. Going to get a couple more. Observer is just now starting that. Hwangsin chrono boosting it rapidly. Yeah, he is being awfully passive, but of course he doesn't know if there's an observer out where that observer might be, so it makes sense that he's trying to be safe. Oh, and as soon as I say that, he turns around and flies into the observer as it pops out of the robo.
But still, he dealt a little bit of damage. Hwangsin lost a little bit of mining time, so it's starting to get better. I think throughout the entire game right now he killed, well, he has 5 kills here, I guess 6 probes, so that's still not great, because those 4 Hellions alone, normally they should kill more than just 6 probes. But in overall, Major can be quite pleased with the Cloak Banshee follow-up. It's a really interesting build. It's like Protoss' worst harassment nightmare, I think. 1 build, first Hellions and then Cloak Banshee. It's really hard to be very well prepared against both things.
Banshee again going to float around to the back of the natural. And where's Hwangsin's army? He's pretty close by. The Stalkers are still in the main, I believe. Where are those silly little Stalkers? There they are. Hanging out with the Observer. Banshee should be able to get 1 or 2 more probe kills. Oh, there's a couple Stalkers in the back of the natural as well. Hwangsin has split up his units really, really nicely, and is just taking minimal amounts of damage. From here, Kev, what would you do? Would you go for a big 2-base push, given your position, or would you just turtle to a third?
If I was Hwangsin, I would at least try to get an observer in my opponent's base, because he's playing so blind. He has no idea what he's facing. The moment, see, there is an observer and 4 Stalkers here, so Major is going to have to be so trouble. He will pick up a couple of probe kills, but then this Banshee is bound to flow.
Oh, she's going to be so stuck. She's got to fly out over the natural, and his Major, doesn't even need to worry about it as the Stalkers in the main clean the Banshee up. Supplies, 80 to 92. Hwangsin in the lead there. Major does have some tanks out. Those are going to be very strong at just denying any kind of attack on the ground, but the Colossus count's climbing very, very rapidly. Thermalance is finishing up as well.
If I was Hwangsin right now, I'd just get really a lot of zealots, but he's still, as I said, he doesn't know. He's using the robotics facility to get units out because he's afraid of the all-in. I can't blame him. He's also afraid to send the observers out because he wants to have 2 observers in his main base. So that's the reason why he feels he can't scout. He needs an observer in the natural, needs 1 in the main against Cloak Banshees. But yeah, that also forced him to be a little bit too blind. I think he should have squeezed out 1 more observer in between.
That's right. Banshee going to go ahead and come down once more into the main base. And once more it will be chased away. And now finally Hwangsin's out on the map, Kev.
Major is actually dropping a 3rd command set, so he's really not trying to follow this up at all with a Soto 1-1-1. This is the first time Hwangsin is going to spot the army of Major, and I think the moment he spots this, there's no way he's going to attack into this. Unless, of course, those tanks stay like this, then suddenly it's not all that scary. And they're still not sieged up, by the way. Major's going to scout it right now. Major needs to siege up.
Oh, he does have siege, and he's going to lose a couple of shots as Hwangsin pushes forward. Colossi doing good damage, but the tanks are so good at pushing back this army, and Hwangsin has to disengage there.
Oh, that was a little scary, though, for a little while there. Very sloppy by Major to not be prepared about this at all.
3rd command center about 3/4 of the way complete now, and Hwangsin still has no signs of a 3rd base.
I hope Hwangsin is not going to try this once more, because that's not going to go all that well.
Oh man, he's just going to go for a Colossi marching forward. Zealot's absorbing a lot of damage in the front. If he can kill the tanks, then maybe But it does not look like that's a possibility as Vikings even coming out to chase away the Colossi. What a great defense by Major.
Yeah, now actually he has excellent tank positioning. Has 2 tanks over here, has 2 tanks in the back, and this tank over here on the high ground. There's just no way Hwangsin is going to be able to bust this. And Hwangsin is only at 33 probes.
That's right.
So some Banshee must have had an extreme field day in the natural.
That's exactly right.
But I can't open up the units. Let's work it down. Sad life.
We can speculate. I think it's because it's not actually a Blizzard map.
No, it's not because it's just it doesn't work on my Korean client.
I have no idea.
As we are of course casting this from the Korean client, as you guys can see about all the Korean symbols on the bottom side. Now Hwangsin Ben is gonna back up. He's gonna wipe in a Forge. He's gonna wipe in a Twilight Console as well. He just doesn't really have the economy. He is about even in work as with his opponent Major from Mexico, but Major, I won't say Mexico, but Major is on triple orbital, so he's in great shape. I think Hwangsin is in trouble despite that excellent Hellion arrays earlier on. Right now things are starting to look a little grim.
Looks like it. Medevac making its way over to the back of Hwangsin's main base. Still no third down for Hwangsin. I don't know how in the world he expects to stick around in this game. Looks like Warp Prism Harass is going to be his next attempt.
It's so risky as well because he knows there are Vikings out on the map, and more importantly, there is stimmed bio as well. So a slow Warp Prism is just so extremely vulnerable.
Yep. But Major looks like he's going to be out of position for it, which is one silver lining that we can talk about.
That's the word. That's the favorite word of the NASL sound guy.
Silver lining?
He sings a song regarding silver lining.
Every cloud has a silver lining?
I have no idea about the lyrics, but the good thing is he already has 4 Zealots in the Warp Prism, so he's going to wipe in 4 to 6 more into the main base, but they do not have charge, so they're really not all that scary. It's not going to be hard for Mages to deal with that. If you take a look at the unit count right now, we have 6 Siege Tanks, 12 Marauders and 19 Marines against 3 Colossus, 2 Immortals, 10 Zealots, and those Stalkers are kind of irrelevant against the army that Major has. So it's going to be very tough. He actually gets Blink before charge, which is something I really do not understand in this phase of the game.
He's going to have a hard time defending. His Zealots are just going to die before they're even able to get into the fray. He's getting Storm research right now, so if he could get a few High Templar out with Storm, that does give him a lot more power in his defense.
That's going to make his life a little bit better. Upgrade-wise, Major is just now starting. He's just going to get +1, as this game has been such an unordinary game. It's really funny to see him follow that up with 3 command centers. I've really seen it from this build.
Yeah.
But it's the exact same build as Major used against Huck at WCS.
I kind of think it's the only way he could have won this game. He wasn't going to do it off 2 bases, given the way Hwangsin reacted to what he saw. And now it's actually Major who's in such good shape.
Still, the biggest problem was for Hwangsin. He really felt like he needed those robo units to defend immediately. So he only made 2 observers, and he needed those in his base. So he just had no idea what was going on the other side of the map. And I think if he had an idea, he would have played so different. He would have gone up to 3 bases a lot quicker, would have dropped the Twilight Console, researched charge, and I think then he wouldn't have been afraid at all about this potential bio tank push.
You are absolutely right, Kev. Still, though, he's giving a lot of time to Hwangsin, who's finishing up the, or still all this time is translating to tech for Hwangsin as he's finishing up his Storm research, getting more upgrades. Charge does begin. This Warp Prism's just chilling, man. I guess he's waiting to see the army actually moving.
Exactly.
Before he sends it in. How many gateways does he have?
There's quite a few now, actually. 2, 4, 6, 7.
About 10?
No, just
no,
7.
only the 7. But regardless, he'll probably add a few more when the 3rd finishes. And
I mean, 4 plus 7, 11 charge slots in the main base. It's not too bad.
It's a huge headache. It's not something you can just deal with like units popping out.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like, oh, let's pull my SUVs and a couple of bio units and let's deal with it.
Factory might end up being a hero. Look at it floating right towards the prism.
And Korean sounds so cool.
There it is. Spots the Warp Prism, and does Major see it? He sure does. Vikings going to come right over, and this is a sad day for Hwangsin.
The Prism does fall a little bit unfortunate. It got spotted the way it did, but good play by Major.
Hero Factory. Somebody give the guy flying that factory a Medal of Honor.
Maybe one day, bro, you can fly a
That's like the job that Billy was born to do right there. Fly the factory around.
Because he's always born. He's meant to die as well. But in the history of StarCraft 2, we have seen some hero factories.
And we've also seen some heroic Billy moments, Kev.
Major is up 40 supply at the moment while Hwangsin is moving out. I really hope for Hwangsin he's not going to try to be aggressive. Even though it's frustrating as a Protoss to be in this situation, you're worried about this potential super sick Terran army, but Hwangsin is getting very nice upgrades. He's 3-1 is actually on the way, while Major's just working on 2-0. Actually 2-1, 2-2 is he working on, as he is 1-1 right now, but 2-1 is pretty much finished up. He's also getting 1+1 on air weapons already.
Tanks are all unsieged as, a new Warp Prism does come out for Hwangsin. Man, Major has just got so much supply completely maxed. Look at this Zealot. He's very pissed off.
I know what you did to my guys in the prison. Can't take it any longer.
And now he's dead. Maybe he can come back as an immortal later.
Major is moving forward right now. First storm does land and does a little bit of damage on the Vikings, but not all that great. Factory is going to help out from Major once more. I really love how he includes the factory for vision. I think it's so smart. More Zealots right now over here, and this is the amount of Zealots that's actually a real nuisance.
Yep, they're going to at least stop all mining at the third base for the time being. Major's army completely out of position to deal with this. Wow, those Zealots are going to get a lot of kills. Question now becomes, can Hwangsin hold this pressure at his front? His entire army backed up into his natural.
Hwangsin has money as well. Yes, 1,200 million. These storms are a little bit random.
Very mediocre storms. Just hitting a couple of Vikings and just doing... Oh, there was a good one. That's a full duration storm on most of those Vikings. That was actually an excellent storm. Again, it goes down, and all of a sudden the Viking count rapidly thins. Drastically. Oh no!
Oh, great feedbacks actually. Only one Templar lost his energy there. Wow, that was great for Hwangsin. Hwangsin should be able to hold this right now.
He's gonna go for it. Another storm going down on the Vikings. Really wants to get the Viking count as low as possible. Oh my storm! That was a great storm. Second one not doing the same amount of damage, but still, that army has been so softened up, and Major is in a very precarious spot right now.
EMPs
Out comes Hwangsin, and here we go. Is there enough in the army?
Oh, wow, storms from the high ground.
Storms on the high ground just as good as they were before, and another great storm landing all over that bio.
Still going to be so close though.
Oh, last Colossus gonna go down. Siege tank's actually so key in this attack, but Hwangsin's supply much lower now than Major's. He's down below 70 supply. Major's still up above 130, lost his third base.
But Hwangsin was only able to spend all his money. He's going to get a lot of icons right now. That's all there is left. But, well, there's a lot of Marauders left actually. Feedback's going down once more, but he doesn't have time for Storm. He's going to get one Colossus, but there are still a couple of tank siege up as well. Major will most likely be able to do it, but Hwangsin still has a bank. Storm lands over here as well.
Yep, but now that... Oh, that's a really good second Storm there. With the probes walking into it. This third base looks like it's going to go down as well, and with it I think Hwangsin's going to lose all hopes of bouncing back here. He's just got 40 supply against Major, who's secured a new base.
That was a really cool fight. Can't wait to take another look at that. There's a couple of more Archons are morphing into the main base now as well. Major's just going to clean up pretty much everything. If Hwangsin was only to spend all his money, if he had one more Robo, maybe 3 more gates, I think he might have been able to hold there. Because he had 1,600 minerals, while all there was left over here were 6 low HP Marauders and 2 siege tanks.
I like what Hwangsin was trying to do. He was being very patient, thinning out the Vikings, trying to get in a position where his Colossi could be relevant. But at the end of the day, Major just had so much more. And while Hwangsin made the fight close, he just... I don't know what it was. I think Major's position was just too good. He gave up too much space there.
Major had a much bigger army to start with.
Yeah. Major's army was massive. Billy the factory driver trying to scamper off to safety. I don't think he's going to make it, Kev.
Archons are so powerful.
The roof! The roof! The roof is on fire!
Billy doesn't need no water.
I don't think Billy's going to... Oh, you think it would be like a big explosion if the fire went into the gas geyser? Like blows up the whole map?
That would be realistic.
That would be really cool.
Like this one connects with this one,
Yeah,
which blows
fire
up.
comes up out of the ground. That expansion just collapses into the earth. Sounds like a good change.
And then like the whole main base starts trembling as well. Pylons start falling
like
off the cliffs.
Yeah, the edges of the cliff start to fall away.
Hwangsin is like, yeah, I'm already losing this game. That's kind of what's going to happen in the Red Bull Battlegrounds.
This whole base just crashes into the ocean. That's right. Red Bull Battlegrounds coming up. Going to be at PAX next weekend, or this weekend, whenever PAX is supposed to be.
Yeah, this weekend.
Pretty excited to see it. I like the treasure baneling that pops out.
It's going to be like the Hunger Games of StarCraft 2.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Shout out to Day9 and all the guys working on that. I think Husky's also going to be there.
Yep, that is correct. Day9 and H2 Husky.
Man, poor Hwangsin. He's in such a bad spot. He has no mining base. He's literally mined out of everything in his main, even gas.
The reason why I think Hwangsin is still in this game is because he doesn't know. Maybe he does know that Terran buildings can fly, but he doesn't know that the one actually flew over here.
Didn't realize that they can fly straight south.
Yeah. No, he thought that the Major's like, hey, you took your third base here, you have to do that again, otherwise it's cheating, man. So he has the Zealot over here. He's like, hey, we're both almost
totally got this. This game just became so low eco.
Yeah.
What the hell? Where's all these units coming from?
We are both like mined out, right? And Major's like, I don't know, man.
Right now, Hwangsin's like, man, Marines are way too cheap.
Yeah. Tanks are going to siege up once more, and Hwangsin is going to be a little bit confused as he's going to realize.
Wait a second.
This is not going to be a very good fight for him, no matter
no,
how good the
storms
storms
are. A little bit
are.
one-sided fight coming out here. Templar, once they are out of energy, they're actually not capable of punching. So they do go down. Nice play there from Major. Made a couple good decisions, and with some nice positioning, is ultimately able to take out Hwangsin for his third straight win.
Let's take another look at that final fight. The first storms were awkward, but Hwangsin was buying time. But just look during the course of this fight. But right now, Major has more money than Hwangsin. And look, within 45 seconds, it's going to be the complete all the way around.
Yeah. Hwangsin just not spending right now, spending all of his energy, in fact, on trying to position. Look at those great feedbacks. He really made it close at this moment. Major's just so clumped.
Only right now he has like one high Templar there on the high
ground. He had him on the high ground. He just didn't use him until much later. Maybe he warped him in at this moment, and he was just. But you're right. He's.
But look at the money. Look at the money right now of Major. Look at Major during this fight. He has 40 minerals. He started with 1,000. Hwangsin started with 800. He has 1,800 right now.
Supply block not able to really macro, and isn't able to produce units again until he actually loses some stuff. Here comes those high ground storms. The first one was really nice. The next one's going to sort of whiff as units just sort of split out. And you know, I really feel like if Hwangsin controls that better, maybe he holds there. I don't know if it would have translated to a win. But we have to realize he kills the third base in the midst of this, so it was possible.
I think he could have done better that fight, certainly if he would have spent his money. But overall, great play by Major once more. That build order once more. Chris Lee, also known as Illusion, says it's his build order. So if he's lying, then I'm lying as well. But yeah, it's an interesting build, and I really think it's a build we might see more often. This Hellion drop into a Cloak Banshee follow-up into Expand seems nasty.
Yep. Good play from Major. Takes his third straight win, and he's going to be up next against, I do believe...
Hyuna.
Hyena?
Also known as Caliber, perhaps?
Well, we'll find out. Don't go nowhere, folks.